Speaker Gingrich, you recently said black Americans should demand jobs, not food stamps. You also said poor kids lack a strong work ethic and proposed having them work as janitors in their schools. Can't you see that this is viewed at a minimum as insulting to all Americans, but particularly to black Americans?
No, I don't see that.
Let's talk about some of the things you are saying, because the numbers are tightening, while in recent days you've been increasingly stepping up your characterization of President Obama as a food stamp president. Interestingly, in the lead up now to South Carolina, quoting a New York Times editorial, in South Carolina, where a Confederate flag still waves on the front lawn of the state capitol, largely because of the efforts of the state GOP, it remains good primary politics to stir up racial animosity and then link it to President Obama. Are you intentionally playing the race card to win votes?
You know, modern liberals are just, I think, frankly, totally off the deep end. I went to the Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast Monday morning with a Republican congressman who's an African American, Tim Scott. We talked about the corridor of shame, which President Obama campaigned in South Carolina and has done nothing for. I outlined a plan to build an I-73 corridor that would turn that corridor of shame into a corridor of hope.
But I'm asking you, Newt Gingrich, I'm asking you, Newt Gingrich, about the nature, the way you're characterizing President Obama as a food stamp president. Go ahead.
Right, and I'm trying to make a point to you, which is when conservatives care about the poor and conservatives offer ideas to help the poor and conservatives suggest that the poor would rather have a paycheck than a food stamp, the very liberals who have failed them at places like the New York Times promptly scream racism because they have no defense for the failure of liberal institutions which have trapped poor children in bad schools, trapped them in bad neighborhoods, trapped them in crime-ridden situations. Liberal solutions have failed.
Point
and
taken.
Their only answer is to yell racism and hide.
Point taken,
okay?
But you are using these words leading up to South Carolina. Why are you not, why didn't you step up these words, this campaign, before New Hampshire, before Iowa? Why now?
I used these words at the Georgia Republican Convention last year in May, and I was asked about it on Meet the Press in May of last year. I have consistently all year long, I began doing it in the 2010 campaign, I have said Barack Obama is the best food stamp president, the most effective food stamp president in history. His policies have put, and he just did it again yesterday with the Keystone Pipeline. His policies have put more Americans on food stamps than any president in history. Now, why is it that liberals get so touchy about a fact? It is a fact that he has put more people on food stamps. I've been saying this for like 8 months.
I got to tell you, my email account, my Twitter account has been inundated with people of all races who are asking if your comments are not intended to belittle the poor and racial minorities. You saw some of this reaction during your visit to a black church in South Carolina. You saw some of this during your visit to a black church in South Carolina, where a woman asked you why you refer to President Obama as the food stamp president. It sounds as if you are seeking to belittle people.
Well, first of all, Juan, the fact is that more people have been put on food stamps by Barack Obama than any president in American history.
I think he has that subtlety of racism that I know quite well, and that Gingrich knows quite well, that appeals to some people in Georgia, particularly the right wing.
And you think he's doing it deliberately?
Oh, I think so. He knows as well the words that you use, like welfare mamas and so forth, that have been appealing in the past.
I mean, that's a serious charge to level at Newt Gingrich, that he's being racist. If you pander to that kind of rhetoric.
He does. And when you emphasize over and over and over, that welfare and
I mean,
food stamps and why don't the black people get jobs? And if I'm president, I'll make sure that they turn toward a work ethic rather than an ethic of welfare and food stamps. I think that's appealing to the wrong element in South Carolina.